At 80 years old, Ramon had almost given up on dreaming. In a small village in the Philippines, he spent his days sitting outside his old wooden house, watching the sun rise and set over the rice fields. Life had never been easy for him. He worked hard for decades as a fisherman and laborer, doing whatever he could to provide for his family. Money was always scarce, and many nights he went to sleep worrying about how they would get through the next day. But there was one thing that always brought him peace: music. Ever since he was a young man, Ramon loved to sing. He carried an old guitar everywhere he went, playing songs for friends, neighbors, and family gatherings. His favorite song was Hotel California. Whenever he sang it, people would stop what they were doing and listen. His voice was rich, emotional, and filled with life experiences that could not be taught. One evening, while Ramon was singing outside his home, his granddaughter recorded a video on her phone. She posted it online, never expecting much to happen. Within days, thousands of people were watching and sharing the video. Comments poured in from around the world. People were amazed by the elderly man's voice and touched by the emotion in his performance. A few weeks later, something unbelievable happened. Ramon received an invitation to audition for a major talent competition. At first, he thought it was a joke. Why would anyone want an 80-year-old grandfather on such a big stage? But his family encouraged him. They told him that opportunities like this only come once in a lifetime. With a nervous smile and a hopeful heart, Ramon agreed. The journey to the competition was unlike anything he had ever experienced. It was his first time traveling so far from home. As he looked out the window during the trip, he thought about his late wife, who had always believed in his talent. He wished she could have been there to see this moment. When Ramon finally arrived at the theater, he was overwhelmed. The building was enormous. Contestants from all walks of life filled the backstage area. Some were dancers, some were singers, and others performed incredible acts. Many of them were young enough to be his grandchildren. As he waited for his turn, self-doubt began to creep into his mind. "What am I doing here?" he whispered to himself. His hands trembled slightly as he held his guitar. But then he remembered the faces of his family. He remembered every sacrifice, every struggle, and every dream he had put aside over the years. When his name was called, he took a deep breath and walked onto the stage. The audience greeted him warmly. The judges smiled and asked him a few questions. Ramon explained that he was 80 years old and came from a small village in the Philippines. He told them that singing had always been his passion, even though life had never given him the chance to pursue it professionally. The judges listened politely, but no one expected what would happen next. Ramon adjusted his guitar, stepped toward the microphone, and began playing the opening chords of Hotel California. The room instantly fell silent. His voice was powerful, smooth, and filled with emotion. Every lyric seemed to tell a story from his own life. The audience sat frozen in their seats as he poured his heart into the performance. As the song continued, expressions around the theater began to change. Smiles turned into looks of amazement. People exchanged shocked glances. Some audience members wiped tears from their eyes. The judges were equally stunned. They leaned forward in their chairs, unable to believe the voice coming from the elderly man standing before them. Years of hardship, love, loss, and perseverance could be heard in every note. When Ramon reached the chorus, the crowd erupted into applause. Yet he remained focused, singing with all the passion he had carried inside for decades. By the time he finished the final note, the entire theater exploded with cheers. Everyone jumped to their feet. The audience delivered a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. Ramon stood quietly, overwhelmed by the response. Tears filled his eyes as he looked around the room. Then something extraordinary happened. One of the judges reached toward the famous golden buzzer. The crowd gasped. With a smile and tears in their eyes, the judge slammed the button. Golden confetti burst from above, filling the air like a shower of dreams finally coming true. The audience screamed with excitement. Ramon covered his face with his hands as tears streamed down his cheeks. He could hardly believe what was happening. For a moment, it felt as though time had stopped. His family rushed onto the stage, embracing him tightly as golden confetti continued to fall around them. The judges praised his talent, but even more than that, they praised his courage. They said he was proof that dreams do not have an expiration date and that it is never too late to share your gift with the world. As Ramon stood there surrounded by applause, he realized that success was not about fame or money. It was about believing in yourself, even when the world has forgotten you. That night, an 80-year-old grandfather from a small Filipino village reminded millions of people that hope can survive any hardship, and that sometimes the most beautiful voices are the ones that have waited a lifetime to be heard.